Well, that's the fun stuff, you know?
Paul Walker.
Where's my dad? All right.
More Paul Walker.
You know, it's like, did you know what this was?
Paul Walker.
I like amusement parks.
Paul Walker.
We're making an action movie here.
Ah, shit. I did good, though.
Where's my dad? All right.
Is he here? Is he there? Where's my dad?
No,
All
it's,
right.
it's just my dad. He's playing a prank on us.
I just want to know where my dad is.
All right.
Let's go for a little ride.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Paul Walker.
It's Hanging from the Balcony with Sir Jared, the Professor, Nathan Betts, Miss Professor, and Thomas the Doubter.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is me. Sorry.
Hey everybody.
Failing at my duty.
Welcome to another episode of Hanging from the Balcony. With us, as always, me at Sir Jared, at Nathan O. Betts, Lewis the Professor, and
Hello.
Thomas the Doubter.
Hey.
Because he hates everything.
Yay.
And Miss Kim is not with us, unfortunately. She is out of town.
That's the only
But-
thing bringing the Australian viewers back.
If you're
She'll
watching
be
this,
back eventually. She just had to go see her sister.
if you're watching
Just
this
for fun.
on the YouTubes or on Twitch TV, we do have a fill-in for her that's only a quarter-inch tall. We got Travis Bickle right behind you.
I don't get it.
The light switch is
Taxi driver.
her fill-in.
Taxi driver.
Oh,
He's Miss Kim because she's usually blocking that. So
can I get a tumbleweed?
no. I mean, you can if you want, but
I
it's,
think that's what we need.
fucking hate you guys.
It's all out of love. It's all out of love. Well, this is our podcast where we talk about movies, and we're going to talk right now about a great new movie that just came out that I know me and Tom love, because even though it's terrible in some people's eyes, it is possibly the greatest series of all time, which is Riddick, which you guys have both seen it. I haven't got to see it yet. Jealous
Me
about
either.
it.
How can you say you love it and it's the greatest series of all time, but not rush out and see it immediately?
Because I haven't had time to.
It was the #1 movie of the week. Did you guys know this?
Yes.
Number one.
It made a shit ton of money.
It didn't make enough. They were hoping for 20 million at least, and it made, I think, 18 million. So there is just under what they were hoping for.
But
That's
then its first week it did bad, and then this week it's done like amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has that happened?
I think maybe everyone was surprised. Like it was better than they thought it was gonna be.
Okay, I see that. Well, go ahead and you talk about what you thought. I'll talk about it. After you.
I don't know. As most of you know, the first movie is Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, which we all agree is good.
It's amazing.
It's a pretty
really
good sci-fi movie. The second one, it was not. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love Chronicles of Riddick, but it was most people didn't like it. Didn't
like
do very well.
It was like a sci-fi-ish movie.
Yeah.
It's like they did for
An
TV,
epic,
like
yeah.
a sci-fi channel TV.
Anyways,
movie.
this is the third.
It felt like they lost some of the stuff that Pitch Black did. You know, Pitch Black was kind of smaller and contained, and they tried to get bigger with Chronicles of Riddick, but in the process they had like people trying to outrun the sun. You know, and then they had a planet named Crematoria, and the bad guys were necromongers, and it's just like
There's a 5-year-old writing it.
And apparently his home planet is a planet called Furia,
and he's a Furion.
He's a Furion
because he's full of fury.
So
see, that's the stuff
upset.
that doesn't work.
No, absolutely. And most, especially the second and third movie, there are a lot of eye roll moments where you're like, really? Like,
yeah, and that's what we're doing.
But what's so fun about the Riddick character is you can tell Vin Diesel loves Riddick. He loves playing Riddick. He doesn't want Riddick to die. In fact, they're off subject. They're making actually another video game. The other two were successful. And in any case,
based on the movie.
What's that?
There were 2 video games?
Yep, they were.
I know there was one that came out during Chronicles of Riddick that got
that was
all sorts of good reviews.
Yep, Butcher Bay.
Butcher Bay got
And that
great
was
reviews.
incredible. Everyone was shocked because video game
Based
video
on,
are crap.
They're always crap. I didn't play it. Did you play it?
Yes, I did. I own it still, actually.
And was it good?
It was incredible. I was shocked. Like, shocked. The graphics were ahead of its time. The combat system was ahead of its time. The stealth was there. And then it was challenging. and but in a good way. Like you felt pretty badass after you beat it. It was very good, very well balanced, great story. They actually had the guy who played Johns in the first Riddick. He was in it. It was a prequel to Pitch Black.
Oh, okay.
No, it's excellent. If anyone likes playing games from the past or just a fan of Riddick, I fully recommend it. In any case,
it did get a lot of good reviews. So anyway, the movie.
To be honest, one of the first things I noticed when I started watching Riddick was how cool the planet looked. Like, they gave the planet a lot of character. Like, from, like, steaming mountains to the fauna, the animals were really fun to watch. In fact, like, the first 20 minutes is him just trying to survive. And,
by himself.
Yep.
I'm going to argue the first 20 minutes are so good that the rest of the movie for me was a little bit of a letdown because I really liked the first 20 minutes.
It was really cool. Like just him trying to survive. You get to see all the stuff he's doing, experimenting as far as seeing how the animals act and just exploring the area. He actually gets a companion. It's a dog, a native dog of the planet. It's entirely CG, but I have to say, like I thought it was a decent job, especially when the dog
for their
was
budget
older.
they did an amazing job because I started to care about the dog.
Yeah.
And when I see bad CG, if the CG's bad and the writing's bad, all you want is Jar Jar Binks off the screen, right? But that dog, you actually come to care for that dog.
And it is cool the way it's designed, from its ears, the way it moves. It's just it's amazing. And in fact, there's actually not that much dialogue in the first 20-30 minutes
I'm
of the
gonna
movie.
say the first 20-30 minutes is the best.
Yeah, and it's just him surviving and meeting his companion and just trying to stay alive, and it's actually really cool. And in fact, then the next part, you don't see Riddick all that much. You get to know the mercenaries. There's two mercenary companies that show up close to the same time. One's after his head, and the other one is just wants to talk to Riddick. And I'm gonna leave that a mystery.
Right.
Want his balls.
And you get to see them. None of them are terrible actors, but they're obviously, not the greatest.
Yeah.
The girl, though, I don't know. I've
Which
seen
one?
her
Katie
from
Sackhoff?
The
blonde?
Battlestar
The
Galactica.
blonde.
Yeah.
Holy
Starbuck from
smokes.
Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, I'll just throw this out here. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, but watching her, I believe she could beat that guy's ass. Like,
she plays a tough lady
and
really
she's
well. I'll
got-
give her that.
I mean, she's got guns. I mean, she just
Yeah.
looks tough. But, she's fairly entertaining to watch. You can take it from here if you
Katie
wanna.
Sackhoff on Battlestar Galactica was taking over a role that in the original series was a male role. She played, Starbuck, who was a guy in the first series, and now she's playing Starbuck. So she had to
She's
face...
cute.
She had to face all sorts of doubters, all these fanboys going, Starbuck can't be a girl, that's bullshit, So she's stepped forward and proven herself to be capable and tough. And so you believe it when she's in Riddick and she's like the tough guy. I'm glad that you liked her without knowing who she was. Because that's her on Longmire. When I watch her, I always just kind of reflect back on Starbuck from Battlestar. So I'm just like, oh, here she is, Starbuck.
Well, what's cool is that they how believable they made her. She wasn't by any means a babe. They didn't put a bunch of makeup on her and make her hair like the first time you see her, she's got butch, straight, comb back hair and almost looks like she's not wearing any makeup and. She still pulls off
which is
the
cool,
attractive,
right?
tough girl. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a kind of a breath of fresh air, especially from a movie where you might expect, maybe.
Well, there was a lot of, I don't know. I was a little confused by some of the choices once the mercenaries and the other guys show up. I love when Riddick starts taking them on right at first. That's super cool, but. The mercenaries, there's that early scene where they've got a female prisoner on their mercenary ship, and they say, go get her off the ship, just kick her off. We don't have space for her or whatever else. So this one kid goes in, he starts unlocking her, and she's like, please don't unlock me. I don't want to get raped a whole bunch anymore. And I'm like, So they just been raping her. Like it makes you instantly hate everybody, right? And there's about 5 or 6 comments throughout the film where somebody's like, "I'm totally gonna fuck you," to whatever female happens to be on screen. Even Riddick at one point looks at Katie Sackhoff and he goes, "I'm gonna be balls deep."
Mind you, though, he does have a penchant for messing with people's head, especially when he's captured. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of like you don't expect that, from Riddick.
It does make him into kind of a
it's
difficult.
Trying to make him so he's not the
and that's
like
his
that.
character.
She doesn't need
right?
to be really worried about like that he's gonna join the rest of these guys to try and rape this girl, right?
Well, no, he's trying to throw him off the mercenaries off balance, I think.
Yeah, and
To make her feel alone.
this is referring to Starbucks character, the blonde, tough blonde, not
the girl that had been
No,
raped
I know.
earlier.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay, yeah.
I'm just meaning like it's trying to make her feel uncomfortable even with her own team.
She's kind of I don't, but I think she actually thinks it's funny more than anything else. She's like one of the guys you could say like, so.
That is one of the things they do well with her character is she doesn't at any point become a stereotypical female.
Yeah,
like a Hollywood female where she's like, I need to be saved by a strong man. And in fact, in a weird way, you could argue that she does the saving.
Yeah. No,
So
it doesn't play her out like the little Asian girl from Pacific Rim who
does nothing.
Who could flip a 200?
There is a character in this movie who is worthless. And by that I mean I got to the end of the movie and I turned to Kim and I was like, why was that guy in the movie at all?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he's just in the movie the whole time. You just keep going, dude, when's he going to do something?
Yeah, when's
why
he
is
going to do
here? And it's not that he's just staying in the background. Like, he gets lines and he gets to do stuff, but he never, or say stuff, but he never does.
I think the only thing, and obviously it's not written well enough, is he was the humanity of the only like human aspect of the mercenary crew because the rest of them are a bunch of rotten
tomatoes.
Kind of like how we couldn't figure out why Paul Walker was in Timeline.
Actually, very similar.
The main mercenary, man, how unlikable is he?
Yeah. You know what was hard for me about that guy is if you've seen any commercials for Riddick, they show like how that guy dies.
Yeah.
So you spend the whole movie, and he doesn't die till like the last 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You spend the whole movie going, when's this guy gonna fucking die? I've seen it 30 times in the commercial. You know, when's this scene gonna happen?
No, but
that's never good.
The best
is
part
an example of not wanting to watch the preview first.
I agree with you, Lewis, as far as the first 20-30 minutes, amazing. It's still a good movie throughout.
It's fine. It's good.
I thought the
first 20 minutes, though, I was like, and there's no talking really. Mm-hmm. And but see, he does cool things. Like, he realizes these aliens are poisonous. So he captures like one of them, an alien, a baby or whatever, and he like milks it for its poison. And then he slowly starts like
to
building
a
up.
system.
Yeah. And like years pass. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's stuck on this planet for years, that first 20 minutes. And I was just like, that's really cool. Like, we're seeing him survive step by step. Whereas, I hate movies where characters are suddenly really cautious about something only because it comes up later. Like, I got the feeling in the first 20 minutes of Riddick that we were just seeing him be a smart survivor. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is why he survives, because he's fucking smart.
What's kind of cool is they do the whole everyone kind of like, he knows something. And we as an audience, it's not like something that we didn't see but just assume. He knows actually a lot about the planet and the animals that are on it. I'd have to say the first 30 minutes was awesome, and then the cinematography I really actually liked. The big climatic scene, and like the way they messed with the sound, the quietness.
Oh yeah, that was
and
nice.
then like him crawling up the like mountain. I thought it was really epic, really cool.
It was a good way to end that story because it could have gone in a lot of more obvious directions. I think we were all expecting it to go in other directions,
Yeah.
and the way it ended is surprising.
No, and
In
so,
a good way.
Yeah, I can recommend seeing it in the theater.
It's got Dave Bautista in it. Is that his name?
Batista,
From Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in it.
the wrestler.
He's one of the mercenaries.
Yeah,
No, it's fun. It's fun.
it's a fun movie.
It certainly is a dollar theater. If you don't see it in the, I think, wouldn't you say see it in the dollar theater for sure?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
And if you're a fan of Riddick or sci-fi movies in general, I'd say go to the theater. But if you just definitely a dollar theater. If I'll probably buy it.
I like Vin Diesel, so I gotta get myself to it and see it.
Yeah, I'm a fan, so it's hard to judge it without like my fandom coming out.
I still say Pitch Black is the best of the three,
by far.
but I would say this is for sure the second
Most
best of the
likely,
three.
and almost you could almost say that half the reason it is just because the first half of the movie is just them surviving or talking amongst each other, whereas the first 30-20 minutes of the new Riddick movie is just surviving. It's not, they're not giving you cheap thrills or
the first Pitch Black, that first whole beginning part is the first time I've ever seen a movie where it's that bright. Like it's really dark and eerie, but it's like the whole shot
Overexposed,
is
yeah.
really like you're out in the desert
where you do
and-
feel like you're having trouble seeing because it's too bright.
Yeah.
and that's actually the first Vin Diesel movie I've ever seen.
That was my first Vin Diesel movie too, actually.
You've seen Saving Private Ryan.
That movie was also was written.
So
and
looks
directed-
like my dead.
all those Riddick movies are directed by Tim Toohey,
All of them?
or written and directed by Tim Toohey, who also did The Perfect Getaway, which I highly recommend.
No, he did all of them, though?
All the Riddicks, yeah, all three of them. They're
That-
his.
Just
series.
considering how different the
Yeah.
styles were, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What about the animated?
No, I don't think he did the animated. Actually, I was looking at.
Did you
His,
watch
I never saw the animated.
Oh, the animated's not bad.
I was looking at his IMDb, and I didn't see the animated on there. So,
What did you see, Nathan?
A couple weeks ago, I saw The Losers on the television tube and completely forgot to talk about it. So I didn't really have much to talk about for this episode. I was like, I'll talk about The Losers. The Losers is it's based on a graphic novel.
yeah.
For those of you that aren't aware, which most of you probably were. But these guys are all special forces guys. They're all completely individually different from one has each individual skill set and everything. They're a special ops team or whatever. And they get sent into the jungles of God knows where. And the whole purpose of the mission is basically a ruse so that they can get set up to be killed because they are no longer usable anymore, is what I gathered from it.
Does it have Captain America in it?
Captain America is in it.
Does it have the long-range eliminator Cougar?
There's Jensen,
That's Captain America.
and we got Cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we have Pooch?
we got Pooch. And what's her fuck? The blue cat.
Lieutenant Uhura.
Yeah, Lieutenant Uhura. She's also into it. And I thought it was a good movie. If you ever get a chance to find it, I looked for it on Amazon and on Netflix. They're not streaming on either, so you got to actually seek this out. You got to be able to catch it on the actual tube or find it
I believe
elsewhere.
I rented it for $1 on.
It was pretty good.
I thought it was
all right.
I thought it was
wasn't bad.
decent. Yeah, you can tell it was like
It was an action movie.
as you're watching it, you can tell you're like, oh, this was definitely a graphic novel because it's shot in the style of a graphic novel movie. It's kind of shot in the style of kind of like in the style of like Feast, or in the style of not as cool, but in the style of like Sin City kind of, but not the cool black and white or whatever. But you can tell that it's like a graphic novel based movie.
That's cool.
The storyline is pretty, it's oh, they've betrayed us, so we got to go fuck the people that fucked us type of a thing. But the way they go about it is pretty fun. And Chris Evans is just adorable.
He's pretty good.
He's
in this
nerdy
movie. Yeah.
and just he's
I
like
like Chris
obsessed with
Evans.
girls. He's always trying to hit on anything that's walking by him. pretty funny. And then
what's his name? The
Clay
lead guy, Dean Morgan or something.
Yeah,
like that?
the
Jeffrey
comedian
Dean Morgan.
Yeah, the comedian. That's all I know him as.
From The Watchmen.
Yeah.
I think he was on Grey's Anatomy.
He's
for a
pretty.
while.
He's pretty badass as the leader. So I could highly recommend you watch this if it's on TV or if you have a chance to rent it. Obviously you can get the disc on Netflix, but you can't rent it or stream it. So definitely watch it if you get a chance to, though. So there's all of them all at the same time. I forget who this is, but
that's the girl.
Is that the chick that is expendable?
Aisha.
Oh, is that her name?
Zoe
Saldana.
Yeah. Is that Idris Elba as Roch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, watch it. If you get a chance to see it, watch it.
Watch it. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I felt like maybe it had a twist or two that are probably in the comic and have more impact in the comic if you read it over like 24 issues.
Avatar is who she's from.
Yeah, as opposed to Saldana. As opposed to watching a 2-hour movie. Because there's some twists that, for me, I was like...
They kind of had to jam them in there, sort of.
I felt like they just kind of went, oh, now that guy did that. Okay. Yeah. All right, but yeah, it was fun. I thought it was fun.
Definitely.
So, what'd you see, Jared?
I watched a movie that is just recently in, and which also has Chris Evans in it, too.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Which I believe is just in theaters or just got out of theaters or something like that.
Damn it.
But I rented it on the Xbox Video, and it's called The Iceman. It's about Richie Kuklinski, who is a real-life human being who murdered... Oh, that's the Iceman mummy, but...
Just click on the next window over.
Right here?
This guy right here.
Yeah, up on top. At the very top of the thing.
Book.
See where you have IMDb?
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah,
so he's a real-life guy, the Iceman.
He's a real-life guy who was a hitman for, like, mafia people, and he's killed over 100 people, they said.
Seems like a lot.
It's a very, very lot. But
The movie.
Michael Shannon, like... I seriously, the whole time we were watching, we're like, Michael Shannon probably really kills people.
He gives that vibe. He definitely gives
so intimidating. His acting is beautiful in this movie. The movie's really good.
Also known as General Zod, if you're trying to place him in your brain.
He's one of those actors, though, that I feel like even if the movie's just okay, his performance makes it worth watching.
Like the movie Bug. Bug
I haven't seen Bug.
Bug was awful, but he was brilliant in it. If that helps. And I love Ray Liotta. Yay!
And Ray Liotta plays a dick like he normally does.
Yeah, he's good at that.
that.
Very good at that.
Richie Kuklinski. I can't pronounce his last name. They make fun of it actually in the actual movie. Kuklinski or something. I just totally lost track of where I was going with that.
He kills people?
He kills people and it's a lot of people, and he has zero emotion towards killing anybody. That's what he does. There's actually a pretty, moving scene where he gets laid off from his mafia guys because he doesn't kill women or children.
All right.
And he didn't kill this girl who saw him. Like, he had the chance to, but he didn't. And the Ray Liotta's character's paranoid because he's a mafia drug seller, and if anyone knows about what's going on, they're all going to get busted. And so he doesn't, and so he's paranoid, so he says, you're done, you're not going to kill. It's obviously months that are going by that he's not killing, and he's slowly going into a depression because it's how he gets his rage out, is by killing people. And him and his wife are like, well, why don't you do it? And then he just fucking snaps and is like, just, and he's so intimidating. The whole movie, Ray Liotta, in that scene that's right here, he points a gun at his face, and Michael Shannon is just staring at him and they're like, whoa, he's like, look at that guy. Ice cold, doesn't even have an emotion because he's not scared ooh, he just, you gonna put that gun away kind of look. And it's the thing that's really cool is anytime that they have him talking where he's talking like he's being interviewed, is they actually took interview stuff from the actual Iceman interview.
Do they
where
show
they talk
that?
to him, but it's Michael Shannon doing it.
Oh,
but if
okay.
you can actually watch, you go onto YouTube, or not even YouTube. No, you don't have to. But
Okay.
if the listener, if you go to like YouTube or whatever and search, you can actually find the whole interview where they talk to the actual dude, and they take the actual interview that they had from him and put it into the end of the actual Iceman movie. And it's spot on. Great movie. It's the best movie.
One of
I've
these
seen.
ones right here, Jer.
It's the Confessions with a Killer.
It's like 47 minutes long.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
There's multiple parts. It's like a 2-hour
Iceman
movie.
tapes,
Yeah.
Iceman interviews.
The dude is terrifying, the way he kills people, and then the reason why he's called the Iceman is because he would kill people. He'd put them in the body in a freezer, and then he would keep it for months at a time to a year, sometimes 2 or 3 years, and then go dump the body out somewhere so the coroners couldn't pick up when this person died.
Oh.
So he would be totally like, oh, I haven't seen that guy in 4 years. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Oh, okay. So, that's the whole point that they do with it. He kills with cyanide, shooting people. Cyanide's his favorite, which is what they kind of point that they put it in a little spray bottle, and he sprays people in the face with it.
Oof.
And it makes it seem like they have a heart attack. Because I guess that's
Really?
what cyanide does. And it's
Shit.
really complex, and Chris Evans is who he picks up later on, who kind of teaches him that kind of stuff, which is another person that they call the Iceman. I'm not sure if that character is actually real, but it's pretty much
I'm
pretty
not sure if
based
that
on,
shirt he's wearing is real.
and this is all back in like the 60s and 70s, so
That is awesome.
it's very
That's so
yeah.
bad.
I give the movie a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Really?
I loved the movie. It was
Oh,
dark.
wow.
It was really entertaining. It kept me wanting to watch.
Was it on Watch Now, or did you have
No,
some-
I had to rent it.
Rent it on Xbox, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it only came
Is it
out
on-
to like select theaters.
Is it
or
on
something.
Amazon, maybe? Let's check it. You keep checking. We're talking.
But yeah, watch it. It's really, really interesting because it's morally interesting because this is like a real fucking dude that
You can rent it for $3.99 on
Yeah.
Amazon.
really
Worth
killed people.
worth $3.99 rental.
Yes.
Cool. I might do that.
And he's just watch it because it's Michael Shannon. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he is.
The dude is just,
He can act.
he's entertaining.
He
But
can
yeah.
be a pretty intense actor, there's no doubt.
I better find him.
Let's go into some movie news.
Movie news.
We got the RoboCop trailer released like a couple days ago. I think
Okay.
a little bit longer than that. And this is the reboot for RoboCop. And here you go.
You're gonna be on the
Is Sam Jackson
volume
in
on
it?
this.
Just like he's in the reboot for Old Boy?
Yes.
I just need Sam Jackson to be in every reboot. of
And I
everything.
hope he burns in hell.
I think he's probably got a line where he says, "There's too many snakes on this damn plane."
You ready? This Detective Alex Murphy and Officer Down.
We are on the eve of a technological revolution.
We need to give Americans a figure they can rally behind. Give your mom a kiss.
My baby.
Too slow, boy. Whoa. We're gonna put a man inside a machine.
He suffered fourth-degree burns over 80% of his body.
That sounds awful.
If he survives, he'll be paralyzed from the waist down, confined to a
Is
wheelchair.
that Gary Oldman?
Say you can save him, but what does that mean? What kind of life will he have?
Well, you're not gonna be having sex if that's what you want to know.
It's not a suit. It's you. What the hell did you do to me?
He's got like a Bane voice. Yeah.
Make him more tactical. Make him look, let's go with black.
When the machine fights, the system releases signals into Alex's brain, making him think he's in control. But he's not. It's the illusion of free will.
I've selected 13 targets, all wanted for murder.
This is the future of American justice.
You need to speak to your son.
Somehow, he's overwriting the system's priorities.
The human element will always be present. Compassion, fear, instinct, they will always interfere with the system.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
In the beginning, there was the cube. No, God, I can't go over the part.
I want to like it, but I don't.
Where he first is looking at his body after he's the surgery. It just looks so.
What's the purpose of a black and a silver one?
They have the camera looking up at him, and he's just like, "What's going on?"
I'm sorry, but
Come on.
anybody nowadays, if you woke up and like you're robotic, you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, this is tits." Are you kidding me?
Hey, you see that wall punch? That wall punch?
I'm a fucking robot. Are you kidding me? I'm still alive. I'm a fucking robot. This is
and he's
awesome.
Not, and he's not paralyzed.
Yeah,
that's true. I would probably be like, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Go up to your girl. Go up to your girlfriend. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like the first movie is not intended as like a straight action movie. It's actually a political satire, and
the original from
1980 something. And I feel like this one maybe's missing that point. Like when you hear in the preview, they're saying things like, he has the illusion of free will, but he's really control. And then the lady's
nailed
like,
it.
His humanity's overriding the program. And it's like, because you know that's the last 20 minutes when his or 5 minutes when his humanity overrides the program. His wife's like, Alex, your children love you. And like love overrides the computer.
What is? But that's the way that they did it in the other one was just better because like his whole family's gone and he goes to the house and then starts to remember his past, which is what brings back that human element.
Well, also in the
but
first
it's because
one,
they've got to have a hole that
he's
in the movie.
murdered in that first movie.
Yeah.
He's murdered personally. He doesn't just get blown up.
He gets
fucking.
Do
you remember the first time watching that? The first time ever?
It's
and you're
horrifying.
Like, yeah, you're like, oh, he's in trouble. And suddenly his hand, and you're like, shit. And then right in the face, and you're just like, Jesus, they're killing him.
His whole arm gets blasted off with a shotgun,
which was awesome. The way it was handled. So I don't know. I don't want to talk shit about something that could be good, but I worry that they're missing the point.
Yeah.
I have a really embarrassing confession to make.
You've never seen it?
Seen RoboCop.
Wasn't allowed to.
Well, you're gonna have to come over and watch RoboCop one of these times.
RoboCop's worth your time.
RoboCop is so good. Then the thing that's kind of bugging me, it's just probably because I am a huge fan of the first one, is his movement isn't like RoboCop. He's not. Like, I'm advanced. Woo, let's do this.
As computer graphics have gotten more advanced.
The other one, he literally is like moving like with little like
he's doing the robot.
Yeah, I'm doing the robot with this because that's how awesome it was. Whenever he turned his head, whenever he'd move, he'd turn his head first, and then his body would go with it.
And also, when he takes his helmet off in the original, you see how his skin has been just like
grafted on,
just pinned back.
Yeah,
because his face is basically not connected to anything anymore. They've just kind of pinned it down. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one, he looks like he's still a guy inside a suit, as opposed to a fucking robot with skin paint, taped to his face.
Which is pretty much what was it that they took? Just like his brain and his face, and I think that's all that he is, really, right?
Yeah,
because his arms get blown off like in the second one, and then like
he's a brain and face. Maybe there's lungs and
I think
heart
that's all.
in there.
Well, that's probably but
yeah, I mean, look at how his skin is. It's just kind of like taped on at the end.
Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's all that.
Gotta love yourself some RoboCop.
And my other problem is it's going to be PG-13.
Failure.
Well, and that's true. One of the things that makes RoboCop a political satire and so funny is the violence is. It looks like it should be a kids movie when you look at the poster. RoboCop. It's a cop who's a robot, and you imagine all the 13-year-olds going,
"Yeah, he's all robot."
See that? And then you watch the movie, and the violence is so extreme. It's the most over-the-top violence. That's actually, I don't necessarily care for the sequels because I think they also miss the idea of the political satire and the cartoon violence, which I think is important. Paul Verhoeven, who did the original, also did Starship Troopers, which I think also gets misunderstood, and it's extremely violent.
Which you finally pointed out to me.
Yeah, you did.
Like it's making you
go back. Yeah,
it turns you into a Nazi.
Go back to it's one of the first episodes, like single-digit episodes. We talk about Starship Troopers for about 20
in
minutes.
Both movies, I believe there is a shower scene with men and women.
Yes, co-ed shower scene.
Because for whatever reason, Paul Verhoeven is really interested in the idea that at some point men and women will just shower together.
I imagine that's not the only movie of his where...
Probably not, but he specifically on the RoboCop commentary, which I'm enough of a nerd, I've listened to it. He talks about the shower scene. And he's like, "Yeah, I really wanted to show that in the future people will shower together."
I'm trying to find one that I can actually. This one looks okay.
No, YouTube won't allow any of that.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't put any of that.
You don't need to actually show it. We understand boys and girls are in the shower together.
There's naked people together.
There's this dude.
Yep. Jake Busey.
Jake Busey's the best, right?
Man, look at that. He's one handsome.
He's one handsome
something.
Busey. Yeah.
Wow, God, he is so awful to look at.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Oh, and don't forget, anyway, I can't get into Starship Troopers.
Well, and the other thing is, to try and make the main character in all these reboots is they have to have him fight a horde of people anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's a horde of other robots. The other one was just a giant. Was that one that they kept into it, which is just the giant dinosaur-esque looking one
that roars like
who's
a cat.
Awesome.
But the villains,
the villains are humans.
Yeah,
it's
do you remember
people.
who's the?
It's
Boddicker.
Kurtwood Smith.
Clarence Boddicker, dead or alive, you're coming with me. Boddicker's so cool. Isn't it Boddicker who walks into the room when what's his head's snorting coke with some prostitutes?
Yeah.
He walks in, he goes, "Bitches leave."
Yep.
That show is so bananas.
It's so it's the corruption of people in a town.
Yeah,
is what the first one is.
And
then it's corruption of, it's government corruption using shitty people.
And it's set in Detroit because Detroit gets shit on, and they actually went and got a statue made in Detroit of RoboCop. Do you know that?
Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah, they kickstarted $1 million statue of RoboCop, and it worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Anyways, more news. Harry Potter. No, we're not going to do that one. We'll do that for next one. Harry Potter is getting a spin-off movie. It's just released that J.K. Rowling is going to do a spin-off movie, but it's not Harry Potter. It's the same lore of whatever the world.
Wait, is she writing these books?
Yes. No, she's writing the movie. They're going to do. It's a book
straight to movie.
It's a book that I believe was written by someone else. If I remember correct, if I read it right, another guy wrote
fan fiction almost, maybe.
But a profession, not like a
Harry Potter's friend, Bill.
not that kind of fan fiction, but an actual writer wrote another story, like how the Star Wars has the Knights of the Old Republic.
Sure.
They went off of that, and it's supposed to be 70 years before any of the Harry Potter Voldemort stuff happens.
Oh, okay.
So it's
7 or 70?
70.
70.
It's 7 doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Did I say 7?
No, I'm half deaf. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Yeah. It's supposed to take place back in 1892 or something like that. So,
and Rowling's writing the
and
screenplay?
She's writing the whole thing for it. And
that's weird. She did announce after the books that she was going to write another series based in that world, but for a more mature audience.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Probably not probably more to do with the adults or young adults.
Yeah, it's,
Hermione
I
and
think
Ron,
it's for
the
young
Wonder
adults.
Years.
But like that's the thing I didn't get because I've also heard that it focused around Luna Lovegood, who's from the other ones.
Good. I wanted the Luna Lovegood trilogy. Can we do that? That sounds amazing.
The quirky girl.
Hey, Harry.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, is that sarcasm?
Stay away from the Gooper Loops. What are Gooper Loops? They're everywhere. Bye. Bye. But like,
you learn how she went insane. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm once Quidditch was explained in the books, I was like, nope, that's not a game that makes sense.
Why?
Listen, I'm a game guy. I look at game rules all the time. Anytime you have a game system set up where all you have to do is catch the snitch and you get 150
Guess
points,
what everyone's
which
gonna do?
crashes the...
Guess what everyone's going to do?
Go after snitch. There's no point in even playing with just try and keep them from scoring. Put one guy on goal, and then just fucking everyone else goes after the snitch.
But But the whole point is that you gotta get 150 points before the other person's seeker gets the snitch.
Lewis, you don't understand. It's magic.
No, the snitch is plus
You've got to
150
beat
points.
her, a shaker, a bludger.
The snitch is 150 points. So if I hit 2 goals and you hit 3 goals, and then I catch the snitch, I win. If I hit 2 goals and you hit 12 goals and then I catch the snitch, I win. Like no matter what, you catch the snitch.
It's in a world of magic and make believe, Lewis.
And then they've got like 14-year-olds whizzing around on fucking broomsticks at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
You don't understand.
And there's no like limit to the like. They're always going behind the bleachers and coming out.
They're wearing pads.
Yeah, they do have pads.
Ledgardium Leviosa.
Yeah,
and there's no aren't there a set of referees standing around going, okay, that kid's about to hit the thing, we better put a protect spell on him.
Well, because they've explained that people can use magic. Their blood's a little bit different from us normal folk.
Us muggles.
Yes.
So,
you could say they're almost a superior race. If you
I honestly think that she did a great job with those last few books. But when she invented Quidditch, she was
awesome.
Still in a different place. She's like,
well, I think the whole point though. The whole point though is, could you make a game that isn't just going to be rugby and football?
Yeah, okay, but let's think about it.
And you got to make Harry
game,
but you also got to make Harry Potter be the person that wins this thing. So you're going to have him hit 150 points by hitting a little ball into.
So all I do is I copy. I invented a game. It's exactly like football, except one player's flipping a quarter in the corner, and if he gets heads 3 times in a row, million touchdown points.
But only if select few can go after.
Oh, our team is down 14 touchdowns. Oh, did Harry flip the quarter 3 times? We win 14 touchdowns.
I have a question though. Can't only one person on each team go after it?
Yeah, that's their rule.
So I guess whatever.
But the whole point is that they got to find that before the other team gets 150 points by scoring baskets.
More.
But the thing is also hard to see because it's only this big.
You gotta be a seeker. You gotta be a seeker. He's always just sitting around and suddenly that little thing lands on his shoulder. He's like, oh, got it. I'm the best.
I win.
And I watched the movie and there's always some kid hanging off a broom and hurling at 190 miles an hour towards the ground or whatever, and you're like, that kid's gonna die.
Dead.
Yeah.
It's called magic, boys and girls.
It's called high school. Right? Like, who does that?
I would say that it would suck to be a snitch. Like, that would be a shitty job title. What do you do? I'm the snitch for this game. They're gonna fucking kill me.
You mean the little gold
orb that isn't alive?
That's just a little robot.
Yeah.
It's a magic robot.
I'm just saying that would be a shitty thing to be.
Where's my tumbleweed?
I don't think you've seen Harry Potter.
No, I haven't. I've seen 30 minutes of the first one.
Oh, you've never watched the Harry Potter?
Oh, no, the snitches little.
We can talk Harry Potter all afternoon, man. No, you know what? The first Harry Potter, the best way to watch it is that 33-part series on the internet where the guy narrates it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, we got to look it up afterwards. I don't remember the name, so I won't hassle it right now. But it's like a 33-part. It's the movie, and you just watch it on YouTube, and it's in 5-minute snippets, and then and this guy narrates it, and his voice is ridiculous. It's the funniest thing. Like every time Hermione comes on, he's like, "Oh, her face is the worst." And then like Ron, every time Ron comes on, he's like, "Yeah." And then Ronnie the bear shows up. He always calls him Ronnie the bear. I don't know. It's weird. It's hilarious. Okay,
Fast and Furious 7
is that being made?
Yes, has cast Digimon Sao. I don't know how you say his name.
I remember him. He was on
Is
Lost
Digimon
Sao.
And wasn't he?
He's from Blood Diamonds.
Well, I was just gonna say the Blood Diamonds
Gladiator.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Russell Crowe?
Yes.
You mean Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes.
Who's in Glad?
He's the black slave that's friends with the Spaniard.
That's not it.
That is not it at all. Piece of
Yeah.
shit.
So he's going to be in Fast and Furious 7. Jason Statham will be in Fast and Furious 7.
Yes, and then there's also a
This
Terminator. Yes, there's a Terminator that's going to be made, another one, but it's
Terminator
not sure.
5.
But it's not sure if it's a reboot or a remake.
Now, my
but from what
understanding
they
is-
said is Arnold and The Rock are supposed to be into it.
Ooh, one of the reasons they want to get Terminator 5 out is because James Cameron sold the rights, and there's a contract that if they don't make a certain number of Terminators every few years,
just
then
the same
he
as
he gets the rights back.
Same as the some of those superhero ones, or
yeah,
whatever.
Exactly. Like Marvel,
You have to do Spider-Man every 8 years or whatever.
exactly. Yeah. So clearly they're just like, well, we better do another Terminator.
I didn't even waste my time on the last one. Was it any good?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think Terminator 4 was probably
I
the
liked-
second best.
I didn't really
Terminator
like it.
1
After-
is the best.
2's the best.
I like
two.
the 2 one.
2's a piece of shit.
I like
No, it's
2 with the
not.
molten guy.
Ass.
Quit trying to.
2's horrible.
Quit trying to
What?
be the hipster Lewis.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh yeah.
Stupid fucking thumb sticking out of the...
You forget. I see why you cry.
Oh,
And
God.
okay, no, Lewis, do me. But have you seen the uncut?
No, okay, here's why I hate
And
it.
have you
I
seen
hate
this
it.
Have you
boy?
seen it though?
Have you seen this boy?
Quit avoiding.
I've only seen
Finger
it-
to the face.
This boy? What's that?
I don't know. Have you seen the uncut version though?
No, I don't know.
They
Probably
actually
not.
go into further detail about him learning about humanity
And
there's
about
a few
his
scenes.
huge foreskin.
It's actually pretty interesting as far as when he
Sorry, I
when
couldn't
he
help it.
when he actually smiles.
We're gonna have to give him a robot foreskin so that he can carry back these robot digital penis.
when the kid says
The instructions.
when the kid says make sure you don't kill anyone,
Yeah.
and then Arnold Schwarzenegger looks back and smiles. There's actually a whole scene that's not in the original where he's teaching Arnold Schwarzenegger to smile.
Okay, but let's be clear. I'm not actually against Terminator 2 because Arnold Schwarzenegger smiles or holds his thumb up.
I was just saying that
those
there's a lot.
scenes are cheeseball, but that's not why I didn't. I don't like Terminator 2 because the whole point of the original Terminator was that they don't stop things from happening. Kyle Reese comes back and gets her pregnant so that she has John Connor, who then stops the robots.
But did he know that?
And he doesn't. Well, John Connor knows it. Probably he knows he's sending his dad back. He knows he's got this young soldier that he's going to send back in time to become his dad.
Ew.
But that's part of the cool thing is that they've created. This
You're my
kind
best guy. I need you to go back and fuck my mom and make me born.
But he doesn't say that. You know, he's like, just go back and protect her, knowing full well that it's his dad that he's sending back, which is kind of a cool thing to think about.
But Reese is already a little
What if
obsessed
what if you
with
just
her.
find out that John Connor and
That's true.
the real John Connor is like horridly looking, and then he's like, "Hey, Kyle Reese is pretty good looking. I need you to go back and protect my mom," and then all of a sudden changes to "Oh, I'm Christian
but
Bale now."
That's why I don't like the second one, because the second one argues that you can change time after the first one argued that you can't. That time was set, and then the second
but
one
it already proves that you can't change time
Yeah.
because after they destroy the arm and the
It
piece,
happens anyways.
the Arnold's still there. He would have disappeared.
And then Terminator 3 even
But
shows that they didn't change anything.
Well, and I kind of like that in Terminator 3 when the bombs go off. I was like, that's cool. Like
the giant nuke.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more.
I haven't watched Terminator the TV show. I like Terminator.
Terminator 2 to me seemed more like she's trying to change the future out of fear because she's obviously living in fear that entire time. She's not thinking with a level head. She's not like, probably following what Reese actually wanted her to do in regards to just teaching John all the skills that he's gonna need. Instead, she's cuckoo. I mean, obviously being crazy in front of everyone, not being normal. It's just.
I guess part of my anger is just that I just wanted the first movie to be done. I felt like it was a nice, clean story with a ribbon on top. Made sense.
What do you mean? Like, the world's going to end later, movie credits. Like, okay, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're just dead.
That's what happened.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
I didn't actually like 4 that much. My main
4 had some last-minute switcheroos that they played.
Well,
MST3K did Death
I
Stalker?
didn't know that. I was just looking at that.
My big issue with the fourth one was actually like they're talking about all these robots and they're going to the camp where all these people are going to be processed, and you're like, oh, what's this gonna be like? I count 3 robots running the whole camp almost. Like, literally, you see like 2 Terminators standing their guard and then maybe some turrets, and that's it. Like, you're expecting maybe a whole plethora of robots or something, but
they all have miniguns.
You know what they kind of did wrong with the first Terminator, and they're probably doing it again with the 5th one, is when Reese explains what Terminator units are, he says Skynet created robots to infiltrate and sneak into our camps and then kill everyone. So they make them look human, they come in and kill everyone.
That's why they...
And then you meet fucking T-800, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you're like, he's not creeping into any camp. Hello, I am an Austrian and I'm also human. And I'm 5 times larger than every other human here. Like, if you're going to make a robot, you make someone that looks like Nathan and send that guy
Terminator
in.
3.
Yeah. He seems
big
like
old
a
fatty.
normal person.
No,
but
what
he
you
wasn't.
do- what
But
you do
he's
is-
not an infiltrator, though. That's
What you
the
do
whole
is
point.
in Terminator 3, get a hot woman to
Yes.
infiltrate.
Or
Boom.
someone made of liquid metal.
The T-800 is supposed to be like a warrior, and then they made him all awesome and human-looking, and they sent him back into the past. That's the only reason why they put the skin onto the T-800.
Is that why? Because there was another T-800 with
That's
the
why
skin
in the beginning.
Terminator
That's
4.
why in the beginning of the second one, all you see are the T-800s as skeletons.
I thought they put skin on them because they literally needed a reason to have Arnold Schwarzenegger be one of them.
But all the
They put skin on them because they just needed the foreskin.
Right.
They just added the rest.
So that they could have the instructions on how to make them on them.
But when they infiltrate the thing, it's not Arnold.
Uncut,
It looks
okay?
like they look like humans when they go in there.
What's
They're
that joke?
shorter guys.
What do you call the worthless piece of skin at the end of a penis? A man.
Oh man, yeah. Right.
I don't get it.
Boom!
On to our homework.
Men hating jokes. I love
On to
them.
our homework. Guys, we had to watch Lewis's amazing movie.
I'm guessing you guys didn't love
Outrage.
It wasn't great. It's not great.
I gave it a 5 out of 10 just
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's about a 5
because
out of 10.
it's like it was like okay, but the only problem I had is subtitles again, but these subtitles, the problem with this subtitle is I had no idea what was going on because it's like we will betray the Hiramoto family. No, the Moto family don't like Hirioto family, so we're gonna be friends with the Shikorioto family.
Right.
And I'm like, what family the fuck is what?
I think following who was really tough with this movie.
So I kind of got lost with it.
Especially because
I like
there are 40 different Japanese guys and
Yeah,
you're supposed
that
to be
was
able to
really
tell
tough.
all of them apart, and there's a point where you're like,
and there's some really bad acting in it.
No, it's a cultural thing.
The Ugandan dude.
Yeah,
Snake! Let me out! There's a snake in here! Oh god!
And then listening to their voices, like I'd never heard like when you watch a movie like this, you're expecting to hear weird, like you're not used to hearing the Japanese language or whatever, but it literally sounded like somebody got in there and overdubbed their voices to make them sound like a racist Japanese accent. It almost sounded like Jared got in there and started doing his Japanese gibberish to it. There were some parts where I was like, what the fuck are they even, like, that doesn't sound like, it sounds like noises.
I thought the Japanese was fine. It's just when they start speaking English.
Yeah.
And I think part of the problem, because this same problem happens in another Takashi Kitano movie called Brothers, and about half of the dialogue's in English, and it's just the acting suddenly becomes shitty when it's in English, and I think it's just because he doesn't speak English,
right?
So he doesn't know to say, cut, you're not acting well. He just goes, well, it probably was good.
I'm assuming. Sounded like English to me.
It was the first time I've ever seen the throat thing where they put the rope around the dude's neck and they.
Oh my god, that was violent. Oh my god, that was so gross.
Wait, what about the dentist?
The dentist was gross too.
I instantly thought of Tom with that because we'd always do the teeth thing, but fuck,
God, that was.
I was like, no.
So there's
the pinky finger. Actually, that's the. I was like,
when the guy's trying to cut it off.
That was
every pinky finger one.
It was the first time where I'm like, you couldn't cut your finger off with a box cutter.
Yeah,
Like,
that tries.
Well, the blade would have broke.
I don't know.
I like how what's his name? The main guy wraps his pinky up with string and he waits for it to get all
purple.
numb. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
like flicking it. Yep, now I can
about
cut it
ready.
off.
Funk.
I honestly, I think they could have cut maybe at least 20 minutes out of the movie in regards to the parts. The car pulls out into the street.
Yes,
the car slowly.
A lot of driving that was not necessary.
And then they pause for another minute on an empty road. You're just kind of like
he was doing that to show you his camera skills.
Well, and then you can't park here. You need to move your car.
Yeah, how many times do we need to see that? Like, there's literally like 4 or 5 scenes.
That's it.
After the big meeting of the Yakuzas, you have the guys bowing. No, you guys have the guys bowing as the cars go by for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool though, right? No, it's just
and
I love the first shot where they just show all those guards waiting.
Yes, that was
for
cool.
Yakuza bosses,
that was
and they're
cool.
all just standing there.
That was a good shot.
That was cool.
Pretty shot.
What the main actor director?
Beat Takashi.
Yeah, that guy.
Do you notice when he's the actor, it's Beat Takashi, but when he's the writer, director, editor, it's Takashi
I'm just
Kitano.
gonna call him Takashi.
Yes,
Takashi looking at
eyeballs.
him.
Yeah, only one blinks.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, don't you love his?
Looking
got
at
that
him,
weird face.
He, even though he's Japanese, like I'm comparing him to the rest of the Japanese. He's like Robert De Niro, Clint Eastwood, tough guy, mafia.
He's
like
so fucking tough.
He looks like a tough Japanese guy. Even his voice.
Do you know where you've seen him before?
Sounds an octave.
From the MXK or whatever that's called. What is that show called?
MXC.
He's the host of MXC.
That's him. Fuck yes, that's awesome.
I never heard
love
his
MXC
because I hear the English stuff.
Yeah.
I
love MXC so much.
No, it was. I was actually really like. I found him entertaining despite the fact that the movie wasn't the greatest.
He's amazing. You're absolutely right. It's a 5 out of 10 star movie. That's what I gave it.
Like you could watch it, but it's not like.
No. Well,
I think I ended up giving it a 2 on my Netflix because you can only give 5.
One of the problems with the movie is every single character is not likable.
Yeah, they're all kind of piles of shit.
And in fact, there wasn't a character besides Takashi where I wanted him to die. Like, I'm like, really? They're all like, I realize they're all Yakuza or whatever, but even in criminal elements, not everyone's like, I'm a bad guy.
The dude that got the rope around the neck, I kind of didn't want to see him go like that. As soon as I realized what was about to happen to him, I was like, ooh, not like that, man.
That was rough. But the problem is, he was a jerk through the
He
whole
was an
movie.
asshole.
But I think what made you think like, I don't want to really see him go is the fact that you see him go home
and be nice.
He has his bag of money. He's about to run away. He makes love to his girl.
Yeah,
like the more human side.
Yeah,
you don't see his Yakuza side, and then
and then he gets it.
Then he gets.
God, that was so like as soon as he put that rope onto him and he gets out the car, I'm like, oh God, this is not gonna be good for him.
That was all one shot too. When he walks out of the car, walks over, ties the rope off, yells, the car takes off, the guy pops out, and then they both walk down the road for a long time.
Yeah, that was like a 5-minute shot. That was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot.
Long. But okay, so it's not a great movie. I think mostly because it was just kind of a lot of different things going on and trying to keep track of
Well, and Jared had a point where we were talking about it a little bit on the way up, and he had mentioned that it was kind of Tarantino-y-ish, like had a feel that he was maybe trying to go for a Tarantino
like
thing.
Like because the way that some of the scenes are like all of a sudden it's like cut to black, and then comes back to the same people. Like what?
I do.
Why? Why did you do that again?
I don't know.
They're walking on the street. You're a real dick, dude. Cut to black, and then they're in the club picking on that dude. Like what?
I do like there's a few actors where they do an exceptionally good job of being unlikable without overacting, and I think one of them is the boss who's playing both sides, who's over gambling.
Oh yeah.
Like he's not overacting. He's actually acting innocent in the whole thing. But I was like,
I kept confusing him for the main guy. I was like, that looks like the same dude to me.
No. Yeah,
racist?
I'm not. Yeah. Sorry.
No, there's a few actors.
So this movie's a little easier to enjoy if you're not a complete racist, like Nathan.
Right.
Well, I'm not a racist at all, and I didn't.
It's not great. If you're gonna watch I love certain Beat Takashi movies. This is not one.
Well, then I
wouldn't recommend it.
And why is it that every time that they talk, it's never like you're a pile of shit, you need to stop. It always goes to like. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's probably, I'm assuming it's a
and you're like, oh.
Couldn't you say that's a cultural thing, though?
It's totally cultural.
Because we don't.
I will argue that if you
They go
understand
from 0 to 60
Japanese
quickly.
culture and the idea of honor and the idea of they use words like father and brother. They're like, oh, we're sworn brothers.
Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
If you don't understand their culture, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But like when you've sworn allegiance to someone so that you're brothers, you can't fuck them over. And yet this whole movie's about sworn
So
allegiances fucking each other over.
Yeah.
So they're not
betrayal.
families like families.
They're not
They're-
family.
The one thing I really like though is like you got the main dude to whatever, and you can tell that he's like a hard person, but then every time that he goes to the
I did something.
whenever he goes to the main boss's place or whatever, he's like
No.
do exactly what you did again.
You
but
did like it's that chord. You gotta just jiggle it a little bit. I think.
jiggle it a little more. Just jiggle it. Wait, there you go. You got it.
Yeah.
But every time that he goes to that thing, like he's supposed to be like this tough guy at his thing, like everyone's like around. What do you want us to do, boss? And then he goes to that thing, and he's like, that dude's like, what are you doing sitting on the couch? And then he gets down on his knees on the floor, and he's like, I'm just here to see.
Again, that's culture. This guy's above me, so if he says don't sit on the couch,
Despite
I
that,
kneel.
you're absolutely right. But despite that, if you look at him, even when the big boss is talking to him, he's not cowering.
Yeah.
He's
never scared.
He's
But he's respectful.
Respectful, yeah.
But he's not.
He knows.
Like,
I mean, there's at one point they go, well, what about those other dudes? Give them a call, and they call up and they don't answer because we just see him get all mowed down.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it's over.
Yeah.
Like we're all dead.
Well, yeah.
We're all lost.
Yeah.
Actually, I was a little surprised. I did not see that coming. Him the way he dies. I did.
It's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that was a
Because you
surprise.
totally forgot about the dude.
Yeah, I completely forgot about him. And I like the grenade. I didn't see the grenade like taking out
You
everybody.
didn't
That was
realize
pretty
when
sweet.
he got punched in the nose that would actually save him.
That's
But what I like about him is when it's time to kill people, they're like, we want you to kill these guys. He goes, okay. And he just walks into that bathhouse. It's like, just takes people out. And he does it well. You see their bodies, and they've all got like 2 nice bullets right in
one
the
in
chest.
the head, one in the chest.
One in the head, one in the chest.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so not a great movie.
Yeah.
Let's watch a good movie next time.
Yeah.
Thomas,
Tom,
what
what
are
are
you
you gonna
pick a
pick?
really good one for us?
Well, as we all know, and our viewers know, because everyone knows Lewis's habits by now.
That you hate entertainment.
Lewis loves fantasy
Oh, I didn't-
films,
I do,
especially from
I
the
do.
80s. He
I
loves
do.
Conan.
the Barbarian.
So I had a friend
Amazing.
who recommended a fantasy movie from the 80s called Deathstalker. So
I have not seen Deathstalker.
You want to see the trailer for it? I got it queued up.
Neither have I.
You got the volume over there, Jerber?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna watch the trailer.
Oh,
you've not seen it either, huh, Thomas?
I haven't.
Based on the.
It's recommended. So.
Great kingdoms.
Swinging from the. All right.
Nice flip.
An age of awesome magic.
The Force.
An age of terrifying evil.
Pigman.
Where one man sought the key to the ultimate
He's
power.
so dreamy.
He was the man they called Deathstalker.
Wow.
Reunite the three powers. You will be power.
I don't know, guys. This could give Conan a run for its money.
It looks about as well done as Conan.
If he can capture the amulet of life, he will rule the world.
Not gonna lie, I don't want to watch this.
Stands in his
I can't
path.
wait to
and
see
to
this.
the victor, a beautiful princess.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, she's hot.
That seems reasonable.
Isn't that one of the pig things from Star Wars?
Yeah, it was a leftover costume. Didn't get.
Not. That's right, I know what the pig things are called.
I think that chick had her titty meats out.
That would be ridiculous.
Oh, sorry.
I doubt there's any nudity.
Sounds like everybody's puking.
That's actually look mean. Kick in the face.
Yeah.
The greatest adventure
Ever.
the
Of
most
all time.
legendary hero of them all, the man they called Deathstalker, the last great warrior king.
He stalks
Starring
I
Richard
can't
Hill
wait to see this.
and Bobby Bennett.
Barbie.
The only thing that could make that better is some death metal, right, Jared?
Yes.
I
I think that should have been like a whole like music video to him.
Have you guys seen Death Race 2000?
Ooh.
The original with Sylvester Stallone.
I tried.
So good.
I tried.
That's actually worth your time. Like Jared's right. You gotta try it though.
It's
Is it Lewis? Is it so Raven?
Is it?
It's so Raven.
Machine Gun Joe, and then he gets out and he shoots the fake bullets at the crowd, and he's like,
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger
I was gonna
at
ask
his,
if
or
it's over
Stallone
the top.
at his finest.
It's
Oh,
it's
Over the top, anyone?
yes.
Lewis, come on.
over the top. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Turn the hat.
But I'm.
It was funny. You like puns.
I cannot wait till next week when we can discuss Deathstalker. Thank you, Thomas. For that.
Thank you guys for listening. This has been an episode of Hanging from the Balcony. Once again, leave comments below on the YouTube thingies, or if you're on Twitch, talk to us on there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, somebody was talking to us a little while ago. Said that we all sucked or something.
Yeah, well, it was Adam.
Oh, it was Adam. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
A-hole.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching and all that jazz. Once again, give us a movie that you want us to talk about and review.
We didn't watch Oscar for Adam yet.
Fudge.
Dang.
We haven't watched Oscar
We can
yet.
bing it.
We'll get to it next week.
Yeah, let's bing
For
Oscar.
sure.
Yeah, so because I don't want to die over the over a movie.
Next
We
week.
should kill Nathan.
We gotta kill
I
Nathan.
think at this point
No.
it's time. Just
No, next week. We'll get to it next
Enough
week.
is enough.
Next week.
So Nathan
Okay.
won't be here next week because he's gonna die.
Next
for
week?
us not watching. Okay, we'll give you till next week.
That was close.
Thank you guys for listening once again. Singing from the Balcony. Call us at 1-888-317-2694 and let us know how you feel about the show. And
Or give us something, or give us a homework or something.
give us anything.
Do it.
Thanks, guys, for listening, and as always, have a wonderful movie night.
Yay. exactly the next 2 cards that have to be certain things, right?
The river and the turn.
So if you have to get the next 2 as a certain way, those are called runner. And if people do it, when you do it, you go, oh, runner, because that means they got the 2. It's one of those, and they call that sucking out, actually, when you should have lost, but you, against all odds.
You get lucky because I hate people that fucking